Welcome to the Technosthetic Podcast. I'm your host, Eric. This is Randy. And we also have a special guest today, Travis Sankula. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so today is going to be the Foldy Boy cast, basically. We're going to talk...
Flip.
Folding device cast, flipping device cast too. We're going to talk Z Fold 3 and Z Flip 3.
It's a fold cast.
It's a fold cast, and we're also going to talk at the end just a little bit about Halo Infinite. So just
can't help ourselves.
Yeah, we got some stuff to say. So let's roll right into the flipping, folding nonsense that will be today's podcast. So the reason we're having this to begin with is I think all of us have got a folding phone of some kind, whether it be like a horizontal or a vertical flip, whatever. And, I wanted to talk about it. I know Randy and we just got the Z Fold 3, and then Travis here, he got the Z Flip 3, which is really exciting. And I wanted to bring him on because this is his first folding phone. He's had lots of Android phones in the past, obviously, but I wanted to just get his first impressions. Like, just what was your previous phone, actually?
So it was a Galaxy 10 Note, I believe.
Okay, so you had the Note 10? Okay.
Yeah.
That has the S Pen and stuff, right?
That's right.
Okay, yeah. So you're going from that, and then, so, like, I guess what's your first impressions of it? Like show the camera. I know that we have audio listeners too, but just show it off for the video watchers out there.
So the phone itself is pretty neat. It's got two screens. It's got the front-facing
I love the look of that
screen that actually has its own widgets and whatnot, and I'm not sure if I can do it.
Yeah, while not looking at it.
But it's a full folding phone and everything like that.
Dude.
It's actually very similar in size to the Note phone.
Okay.
And it actually has a lot of neat features built into it that you wouldn't expect from a folding phone that is built around the folding aspect of the phone.
Okay.
So
yeah.
It's pretty nice. It's a great phone. As you can see, I put a case on it because I don't want anything to happen to it. The Spigen hard case. So
that's very popular. Like, I see them on Reddit all the time. So I'm not surprised that. And like, actually, you've been a fan of their cases for a while. I remember you were telling me.
I have a Spigen case here somewhere that I just got from my Fold 3. They're really nice. They're definitely something that I would even consider a higher quality than the Samsung Folio that comes with the with the Z Fold.
Yeah,
but
dude,
we'll get into that in a little bit.
I know, like, we got these basically for free, and like I put it on there just to like play with it, and then I was like, no, it doesn't feel.
I'd show you mine, but it's in the garbage.
Yeah, he literally threw it away. So it comes with ours came with the little pin. That's the only reason we got them, and they were kind of like, because they were having all the deals on their site, so we
we
got it, but it was kind of garbage. But yeah, so like.
Yeah, I kind of want to ask some questions too.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because I couldn't find it in coverage anywhere. Everyone had to like double tap the front screen. Can you leave that in always on display mode?
Yeah, I've always got it. I've got it always on, and it. You can actually configure it for different things.
How cool is that? Dude?
So clean.
Yeah, it's a really good phone. I'm still getting used to the functionality about it, but I have really enjoyed having it so far.
And so like, you got it yesterday or today?
I got it yesterday, so cool. I spent a few hours getting it set up. But I mean, it's just being able to like have the weather on here, play your music from the front and everything like that. I mean, it's a really neat feature.
So let me ask you, dude, like, how's it feel in the pocket?
It's a bit thick. It's about the thickness that you would think of like a 3DS, but about half the size.
Yeah.
Do you find that to be better in the pocket, or?
I forget that it's in my pocket, to be honest. Having the Note fully, like the full size of the Note in your pocket, you more notice it there.
That's a good thing, yeah.
Another thing I noticed, though, is that it falls farther in your pocket, so you actually have to reach in there to grab the phone, which you're not really used to.
Though, right?
Yeah, it's true. But overall, I'm really happy with the phone. I'm pleased with it. Everybody seems to find it neat, and you can't even tell that the crease is there if you're watching a video or if
it kind of just vanishes.
Yeah, so Randy had like the first the flip, right?
Loved it. It probably one of my top 3 favorite phones. And if it's funny because prior to coming on this podcast, one of the things I just looked up was if I can pair one watch to multiple phones. because I would also like a Flip too.
No, that's so funny.
You can't, by the way, in case anyone is wondering.
You can?
You cannot. You can pair multiple watches to one phone.
Yeah.
But you can't pair one watch to multiple phones, unfortunately.
So I don't think it matters though. For Samsung stuff specifically, did you see all the they try and be all Apple with their
with the send to I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't either, but I think it's supposed to be, you're supposed to get your phone, your text messaging, it's supposed to work kind of like how Apple does it, where it synchronizes across all your devices.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the same thing. So if you have a Samsung watch, like a Samsung tablet, a Samsung phone, it's supposed to synchronize all that between them. So in your case, if you had a Flip and a Fold, theoretically it would synchronize across all of them. But
that would be cool. That'd be cool.
That'd be a lot of folding in your life, dude.
See, for me, I have the black Fold.
Yeah.
And that cream color Flip looks pretty nice because it has that retro aesthetic, like that. What was that design that you were looking for in your house? That modern retro thing called
mid-century modern.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cream Z Fold looks mid-century modern.
Yeah, no, it does, dude. Yeah. That's my aesthetic right now. I kind of dig it. It's just clean, but yeah. So do you think the back to the Flip though? Is it taller than normal phones are?
Oh yeah.
It's tell you what, I already had the Fold phone in the box ready to send back. We're just gonna crack this open. I'll reseal it.
Okay.
And then it'll be easy to
compare. Did you get your trade-in box already from Samsung?
They send you just a label to return it in the same box.
Is that what they do? Okay. Is that what that is? Okay.
So here is the Note versus the Flip. You can see that they are just about the same size.
It's thinner side by side. Isn't it?
It's slightly thinner.
So it's a different aspect ratio, it seems.
Okay.
So
that's interesting.
Do you enjoy that, or do you find it a hindrance?
Actually, I really enjoy it. So here's the two phones. You can see that they are very, very similar in size. And you can see the Spigen case has taken a lot of wear and tear.
That's a loved-in case right there. It is, a lot of love.
The thing I love about the old phone is that I could just chuck it and I don't have to worry about it taking any damage because the case is so good.
Well, I mean, you can chuck the Flip.
The Flip.
You can chuck the Flip, dude. You've seen people like Quinn, dude.
Oh yeah.
Snazzy Labs, dude, he's just chucked his and
dropped it, kicked it, tossed it around.
Those things are pretty durable. I mean, what did you think about the folding screen? Were you worried about durability, Travis? Or
well, my primary concern of why I didn't get any of the previous one is because of the water resistance. And this is the first Fold phone that has water resistance.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that because when I had my Z Fold 2, one of the reasons I went back to an iPhone was just the peace of mind of water resistance. And it's not like I was, swimming with my phone in my pocket or anything. It was just, if I have friends over and we're pouring drinks at the bar, I'm like, oh, I got to watch where my phone is. I got to keep my phone in my pocket because I didn't want an accident to happen. And that peace of mind that I had with a water resistant phone was worth it to me. So I totally get where you're coming from. And it's pretty impressive that your Flip is waterproof now.
Yeah.
But if we have a second, I'd like to go back to the ratios.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
go for it.
This phone is a really essentially it's an ultra wide screen, and here I have Twitch. You can see I have a full screen Twitch, but it has the chat right there. So
that's sweet. Yeah.
Dang, that's actually really cool, dude. Because even I guess that's one good thing about having a wider, or in this case taller, but you know what I mean, after you rotate it, you get to have a full 16:9 video
experience,
and then also have the chat. That's kind of optimal for Twitch,
right?
That's kind of cool actually, because even on the Z Fold, if you're watching a YouTube video, you get black bars top bottom. You know what I mean? No matter how you rotate or orient the phone, you're gonna get black bars any which way.
Yeah.
So
that's actually really neat. I'd be curious to see what the actual usable space is in a video on the Fold versus the Flip, because it might be closer than we think.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a Linus Tech Tip video up, and it's you can see big black bars. Now you can rotate it, and then
and they get bigger.
If it's full screen, it's okay, that's garbage. that's that's better, but it's still, and like
but then, yeah,
like the only time it's really like the GOAT is when you're doing this like that. Then it's like pretty
that's
cool.
real nice.
So
scroll
like
to the bottom, Eric. When you have apps, like you can see what the comment section looks like.
Yeah, so like the comment section's cool because you can have a full video open and then be able to like look at comments and stuff. But I think where it really shines is when you do multi-app. So like that's where Samsung's like particular cool stuff like comes into play, because you can basically have like two different 16:9 like things going on at the same time. Like I just have the like Google Play Store up, and then I have like a video up top, and like so that's the cool thing you can do. Actually, does the Flip has all that multi-app stuff too, right?
It does.
More than likely, yes. It was supported on previous Samsungs, so it should be supported on here. One thing I did want to note, though, is that I think I was mentioning it earlier. So you see how I got the folded flat?
Yeah.
You fold it up like it was sitting on a desk. It'll actually separate the video. So you have your comments and whatnot on the bottom screen while you can watch the top screen.
That's a killer feature. That's definitely a killer feature.
Or the regular stuff. So you see how it separates everything? So,
yeah, that's the coolest. Have you used that yet? Like in like practice?
Is that supported in the native YouTube app as well?
Yes, that's
great.
Straight
that's
YouTube.
Great.
Just like how Twitch went full screen and has the chat on the right, YouTube does that split so that you can watch your.
Okay. That's pretty cool though, because
really
like
cool.
one thing I normally do, and I mean even my phone can do that as well, but just like horizontally. And like I do that quite a bit. Like I eat dinner in my dining room. Like that's a kind of a rare thing to do for most people.
That's rare for me, man.
Like I actually do sit in my dining room quite a bit, and like I don't have a TV in there, so I will definitely like have my fold like propped up. And like, because I wish I had a kickstand on it like I used to on my Fold 2. But like in the meantime, I'm just kind of like having it like half folded, and then I can actually see it. On my iPhone, which I still have right here, like I'd have to like find something to sit it against, which was always annoying. So I kind of love the whole like fold idea. But like durability though, like were you worried about the durability of the folding screen?
To be honest, my biggest concern was the getting it wet.
That was it.
And now that was my only hesitation preventing me from getting one, because I do like to go out and about, and things happen.
Yeah, things happen, dude.
I just don't want to get the phone destroyed by a raindrop hitting it or just something.
I know. It just hits it that perfect way. I always think about that. Like with the Fold, I was like, it's raining. I'm going to just, not get this wet, keep it well preserved in my pocket right now. Whereas before I would just be on my iPhone while it's raining. Like, I don't care if it gets water on it.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference, dude. Like
peace of mind is huge.
It is. And like, I remember like I took a trip to a water park, and just like walking around with your phone in your pocket, even if you're not really trying to get wet, it's like you're still freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's water resistance kind of big. So I was very happy to see it on this year's models, and actually impressed. I didn't expect it.
What's one thing I kind of want to talk about, more of a question for Travis. How do you feel the battery life is on your phone?
I don't know, to be honest. Right now, I'm just going through normal use for the day, full charge when I woke up. It's at 66% right now. So,
okay.
I don't know if that's great or not.
I mean, that sounds reasonable.
I'm kind of going down the list of like, I'm slowly trying to convince my girlfriend to get the Flip because she thinks it looks awesome, and her biggest complaints are, well, there's a crease and I don't know how durable it's going to be. So as someone who's relatively new to foldables, I was kind of curious to see if, durability or the crease were a big issue when you addressed the crease already. So, which is pretty cool to know,
Through my carrier AT&T, I've actually got the full plan, which will fully cover like the phone if there's any damage or anything to it. So as far as concerns, like if it does get damaged, not really. So
sure.
Well, that's nice that you got the carrier kind of like safety net. Like I never get that stuff. Do you, Randy?
I do not. I'll buy AppleCare on like my MacBooks and stuff.
Yeah.
But I have a friend who worked for Verizon, and I just didn't want the headache of a Shiri. I'm not sure if your carrier is someone different,
Right.
But he would tell me stories where like people would send their phone in and they would get back a phone that in a scenario where the phone would need to be replaced in worse cosmetic shape than the one that was essentially damaged. So
wow.
I've only had to use AT&T's repair service once, and they actually brought a van out that was full of parts.
Wow.
And they replaced it in my driveway. I cracked my screen.
That's pretty cool.
So we'll see what happens with this. I'm sure that this Fold has a lot more delicate parts that are harder to replace.
Sure.
But as I said, the carrier's covering it as part of my data plan, so I'm not really too concerned about it, to be honest.
Awesome.
Yeah, so like I know the Z Fold 3 and also previously the Z Fold 2, they had one free screen replacement. Does the Z Flip have anything like that? Okay. Well, I didn't know if you knew. Like, yeah, like, well, it doesn't really apply if you have like carrier coverage, right? Because they're gonna do whatever they gotta do if you have an issue. But like, they were like any Z Folds, I know get that free screen replacement, which is, just Samsung offers that, which is great.
Do they still?
What for the Fold?
Yeah.
Yeah. They still offer the one free screen replacement.
Because I can't find it anywhere. I tried to look it up quick, and the only thing I can see is it costs $369 to replace the interior screen on the Z Flip.
You know what? If I'm wrong, dude, that's on me. Fold. I just heard I was on Reddit. People were saying it still does, and I was like, okay. Like I just kind of believed them.
If it does, that's great.
All the coverage that I saw indicated that it did. So. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much all the questions I had for Travis. I know he's trying to get out of here, but do you have any like last stuff to say or?
So I was actually kind of curious about your opinion on the flipping mechanism. So for me, I can't flip it. Like I can't just
you can't
like
whack.
Yeah, like a razor you would back in the day. Like it doesn't do that. Maybe
you'll get there. You'll get there.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
You got to wear it in or.
No. You don't wear it in. You just get less delicate, I guess.
You get more confident with it.
Yeah. More confident is what I'm looking for. Like Hilarious. If you look up Flossie Carter's video, he does it all the time, and he said he's done it with the Z Flip 1, his Z Flip 5G, which is technically the Z Flip 2, and now his third one. And when I had my Z Flip 1, I literally sat there like a fidget toy, and I would get my fingers under it, and then you just flick your wrist, and it just flies open. Yeah. And I've never seen a report of it breaking. Like I was pretty, pretty solid on my Z Fold 2, and I didn't have an issue with it. But yeah, I would watch Flossie Carter's video. He calls it Flipology, and he'll teach you how to become a flipologist.
Nice, dude.
So.
Yeah, what's Travis? Can you give us the best unflip, dude? Can you
unflip?
Can you open it, dude? Can you like whoosh? Oh,
yeah. I mean, you can, but you really have to. You really have to like. It has to be open a little bit. Yeah. You can't just like you can't do it.
Does it?
You have to crack it a little bit, and then you can.
Does it make a sound?
Yeah.
No.
Not really.
It doesn't. Okay. It doesn't make a satisfying open or close. Dang, click.
Dude. Can you like do this to the mic? Can you like? Well, the mic's in front of you.
Yeah, it is. I'm not used to this, so.
I didn't hear it. Dang it.
His case
wasn't loud enough.
Probably quiet too.
Wasn't loud enough. Then TeamSpeak's like no. Okay, I heard that, but.
Yeah, it's still pretty quiet.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, can you break your Fold on camera or your flip? Breaks it. Nice, dude.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is that the the speakers aren't the best.
Oh, the speakers on it?
Yeah, there's the one under-side blast, and then there's the top one.
The earpiece one?
Okay.
Yeah, and they're not. It's not the best. I was playing some what was it? I was trying some bassy tunes earlier, and it doesn't have S0 bass compared to the what was it? My old Note.
Yeah,
you can actually get some bass.
Okay.
Plus, I think the Note had like the feature that if you set it on the surface, it would vibrate the surface, making it like louder.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you could put it on something and it'd make it louder.
Amplify it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to hold you up, Travis, dude. Are you trying to get out of here?
Yeah, I got some GTA RP to play.
Yeah. Plug your GTA RP for the
sure.
Your Twitch stream.
If you want to check out Magic Sausage on Twitch, I'm there most nights that I can get on the No Pixel Whitelist server.
Excellent.
Or
dude.
GTA RP.
What's your RP name, dude? Tell the stream.
It's Joseph Arrowhead.
Yes.
He's the only Native American on the entire island, from what I know.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's a fun experience, and I really enjoy it. And you're welcome to come and hang out and chat. And after I'm done working.
Awesome. Well, thanks for participating, Travis.
Thanks for coming on, man. Enjoy the phone.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Talk to you later.
Yep. Later. All right. So, we talked about the flip. Let's talk about the fold. So I got my fold yesterday, and Randy
got mine
today.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I know, dude. Maybe you shouldn't have canceled. Wow, look at that, dude. Look at that brown case. So Randy has this really nice tobacco brown case. This is a Samsung case. And
it is a Samsung case, not the one that's in the garbage, though.
Not the one that's in the garbage, yeah. I have the one that's in the garbage right here because mine isn't in the garbage. But I got their folio case, and yeah, it is pretty much garbage. The only good thing about it is it comes with the S Pen. And yeah, let's talk about the Z Fold 3, dude. So, okay, we had the Z Fold 2. We got rid of it. We went back iPhone, and now we are back to the...
Here to help.
Oh, your phone's talking to you. But yeah, we're back to the Fold 3 again. What do you think, dude?
We are. First impressions, I can definitely feel the weight difference. I think it feels a little bit lighter in the hand.
Than the 2?
It does. The hinge feels even a little bit more secure.
Okay.
And I do have some initial impressions on the UDC. I'm not sure if you want to talk about that yet, the under display camera, or if you want to. It's kind of like my first impressions because it was kind of one of the things that I was most excited to actually see.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, who cares, dude? Let's just talk about it. So, under display camera for the inside display. If you're a listener and you don't really know about it, they implemented an under display camera. So when you're not using the camera, it's just basically I won't say invisible, but it's hard to see where the camera is. I can't really show it off on camera here, which is, I guess, a good thing. Yeah, you can see it there. If you're a video watcher, you can see it kind of flickering there. That's where the under display camera is. So, yeah, go ahead and speak to that, dude. What do you think?
Yeah, so, I probably consumed every piece of media content I could on the Z Fold, and it really seemed like it was the most polarizing, I guess, addition.
Yeah.
To the Z Fold 3. And I was pretty stoked for it, because as someone who likes new technology and likes to experience new things, I think it's a step in the right direction. I think uninterrupted displays are a lot nicer than the ones that have, notches or hole punches in them and so on and so forth.
Right.
But I think Dieter from The Verge even went on to say that he wishes he could turn it off and just go back to a hole punch. And he thinks it's, if he had to say a negative about the phone, it would be the UDC. And I kind of say I disagree with that.
I disagree.
So if I look for it, right, if I'm actively looking for it, I notice it and I could tell it's not the same density as the rest of the screen.
Correct.
But you don't focus on that part of the screen. So when you're using your phone, when you're in content, for the video watchers, right there, we're actively looking for it, and yeah, you can tell something's off, but it blends in really well, especially when your focus is elsewhere. Your focus is never up there. So for me, I think it's an absolute win. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't hope that the Z Fold 4 doesn't improve on it. No. I definitely hope they don't bring back a hole punch, but I'm not going to sit here and say that there's no room for improvement.
Right.
Because I believe there is room for improvement, but I think that this is definitely a welcome addition and a step in the right direction to creating what I and many Fold enthusiasts would say is the perfect device. When the Z Fold 2 first came out, Eric and I got it and we sat down and we made a list of what would we change in the next iteration. And I think we talked about it in our Unpacked podcast where they kind of checked all of our boxes. And now I kind of want to revisit that for a little bit here, maybe take a couple minutes and kind of go back and forth now that we've had the phone.
Yeah.
And say what we would like to see in the fourth one at some point during today's podcast.
Yeah. Okay. So real quick, let me just come to Dieter's defense, because, in his defense, he was like, I feel like they should have focused elsewhere. He was basically
Sure.
like, why don't we have like flagship cameras? Why'd you focus on kind of like this almost gimmicky feature when you could have put the best cameras in it, and you could have maybe like fit the S Pen inside, or like, something that would actually be like, I guess, a little bit
Yeah.
more practical.
I personally think S Pen inside is a stretch. They're obviously already crammed for space inside of these devices, and they can't necessarily make one half thicker than the other half, because that would make the phone feel awful.
Yeah.
And the phone is already a thick boy when folded up.
It is.
Like, and like I was kind of like reading through the Reddit comments about people complaining about the case, because the case is terrible. Like,
yeah, it is.
The case is unexcusable. I would never make a defense for that case. But people were like saying like all of these non technical people, these armchair engineers, as I will call them, are like, I don't know why they just didn't put the pen inside the phone. It's like, do you really think that if that was a reality, they would not have done that?
Right.
And we're already sacrificing battery size.
Yep.
For space. So me personally, before I see the pen inside the phone, I would like to see a bigger battery.
Yeah. 100%.
And I don't even know if the phone, if the pen inside the phone will be a reality. I don't think Samsung's magnetic on the back thing that they have on the Tab S7 would be that bad of a compromise.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's my take on that.
The thing is, every phone is a set of trade-offs, right? So,
True.
I definitely agree. Don't sacrifice battery for an S Pen in the thing. I agree with that. It's cool that you brought the S Pen to the lineup, and if you had to do it, make it external. That's better than nothing. This is the actual case that we keep hating on. I slapped it on my phone against my will almost, just to show you guys. And first impression is it's pretty good, right? Up until you unfold it. So like here, it really shows how gross it is. Look, for the people that are just listening, it basically, when unfolded, it has nowhere to go, like the actual folio part. So
can I make this even more gross?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm left-handed.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so if you're left-handed, like you have this
big
flappy part, and if you try and fold it over, like this is so goofy. It's just holding it with your right hand at that point is just disgusting. I absolutely don't like this case. But it did come with the S Pen, which is cool. So the S Pen actually isn't too bad.
This is an absolute keeper. So I played with the S Pen briefly, and I'll get to that in a second, because I want to cover what you said on cameras. So I'm of the camp that, and again, I don't work for Samsung, so I don't know what the internal discussions were, but I'm of the camp that, based off of all of the features that Samsung gives consumers, and based off of the iterations that Samsung makes and their software and their hardware, basically even removing ads from apps, like they're going to lose money on that. But they're trying to create a group of loyal customers, I believe, and they're listening to their customers. Because like if you look at the Z Fold 1 or the Galaxy Fold, right, and then you look at the Z Fold 2, pretty much every squeaky wheel was addressed in the Z Fold 2.
Yeah, it was.
And if you look at the Z Fold 3, while not as definitive as the Galaxy Fold to the Z Fold 2, it was more iterative. Every gripe was addressed, including price. So when you look at a product and you're Samsung and you are looking to make foldables your future because it's new, it's exciting, it gets people talking, but more importantly, they're an industry leader in it. No one else is making foldable phones at this caliber. No one. People have tried. There's that Royale Flex Pi, which was a nightmare. Right. There was the Razr, which, albeit nostalgic, was not as good as the Flip.
No.
And so, while I would have liked to see the S21 Ultra camera setup on the Fold, and I do believe that it probably was possible, I don't think we would have also seen the $200 price cut.
Okay. Yeah, and the price cut, I think, is the biggest thing. I think that they need to bring the price down. it's really like enthusiasts like us, people that really see the value in sort of a portable tablet. Like we can justify it. We can kind of talk ourselves into buying these products.
Right.
It really is like if you take price out of the consideration and just look at the device, it's really kind of an amazing piece of kit. Being able to unfold and have like a little tablet that you can just put in your pocket and have and just use, like it's kind of magical, and I love it. That's why I'm back here. You know, I bought the Z Fold 3 because like I had to have it. It's
funny you mentioned that. You know, what I liken using the Z Fold 3 to driving one of those concept cars that actually became a reality.
Yeah, it's
like that's kind of what
it
is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like it's a mass-produced product.
It doesn't. It feels special. Just using it, like you enjoy your time with it. I just content consuming on it. It's just Redditing on it, web browsing on it. It's just kind of amazing. I love it.
Yeah, and like I just had an instance last week where, as you probably know, for if you're a longtime listener of the podcast, that I love my iPad. That hasn't changed. I still love my iPad. But I was literally in a situation where I had to meet someone, and they were like 30 minutes late. And because I didn't plan on them being late, I didn't have my iPad with me. So then I was forced to be productive on my iPhone. Whereas, you know, one of the beauteous things of the Z Fold is it's literally always on you. Like,
yes, 100%.
So you may have those people who are like, oh, well, I have a MacBook, well, I have an iPad. That's great, and I do too, and I love those devices. I'm not taking away from those devices, but I don't always have my iPad on me. I don't always have my MacBook on me. My iPad is always in my backpack, but it may not always be, you know, if I run out to the store and then get stuck in traffic, or if I run out to the mall and I have to wait for someone, you know. Those are situations where I don't have my iPad with me, but I always have my Z Fold with me.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think my phone had basically its role in my setup, right? And my ultimate combo is to be like a very effective tool. And I feel like the Z Fold 3 is basically the best tool I can have in my pocket. You know, like I know Apple and them when they were coming out with like smartwatches, and they were like, look, you can have LTE on your watch. You don't even need to bring your phone. That's cool, but I can't like web browse on my watch. You know what I mean?
I've tried it actually.
I've tried it as well on way back in the day.
So just a funny story. One of my previous relationships I was in, she was like a super, super religious girl.
Yeah.
And like to the point where like I would go to church with her just because it was important to her and something I wanted to do. But she was also to the point where it's like, you leave your phone in the car.
Right.
Like you pay attention and you leave your phone in the car. And I was like, oh, wait, you know, well, I can browse Reddit on my watch, you know, and like even when it was my only device, it was still miserable enough that I didn't bother to do it.
Oh my god, dude! So do you remember the Samsung came out with the smartwatch way back? It was like the Gear or something.
I had it, the first one.
Yeah,
the first one that like wrapped around your wrist.
It had a camera on it and everything.
So did the Gen 1 have a camera, or was that the Gear 2?
The one I had did.
Now I'm curious.
That's all I can tell you. So I had the orange.
Band?
I had the orange. Yeah, in the band.
So you had a Gear 2.
Okay,
I had the first Gear, and I remember that it was the first standalone product. This is the one I had.
Yeah.
Let me send it to you. Actually, dude, I kind of want to buy it. Like, not like
just to have.
Dude, it's just like history. One of those, like just look at this thing, dude.
That's why I haven't got rid of mine.
Like it just.
I still have it. Man. I can still charge it.
I'm so glad you brought that up, dude, because that is such a.
It's a piece of smartwatch history. You know, the funny thing about the Gear 2 is I had mine rooted. It ran full Android.
Did you really?
Yeah, it ran full Android. I literally could put Play Store apps on it. I had awesome. Like full web browser on it. It ran so bad, but you could do like anything a phone could do basically on it. And so I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It ran terribly. And obviously we've gotten to the point now where like watches, like they basically design these. Oh, you're not even wearing one.
Well, yeah, that's right. My Galaxy Watch 4 Classic tomorrow, so expect a review on that next week.
Yeah, but we've gotten to the point now where like manufacturers have realized like there's limitations to these watches. We're only going to put on them what they're good at. which Apple kind of nailed with the Apple Watch. Now you have other watch manufacturers kind of doing that same thing where if we can make a watch good at it, that's when we'll put it on there. But like initially that wasn't the case. They were like, we're going to put a camera on it. We're going to and all of it just was bad. You know what I mean? So
Samsung is kind of that approach though, right?
Yeah.
Like give them everything.
Give them, even if it sucks, just give them all the features, It's kind of death by 1,000 gimmicks, but
that's a good way to put it.
I'm sure it sells a lot of devices to the gullible, but let's just circle back though. We were on a topic here, the Fold.
Sure.
But yeah, back to the
we're bad at that, by the way.
Yeah, we go on these tangents.
Podcasts, but we take the side road more often than not.
Yeah, so the whole point with the watch discussion was like this has to be the best tool in my pocket, and like it's honestly the Fold does it best, right? Because it can do the most things
by far,
and it does it with the best experience possible, which is the big screen in your pocket. And to us, right, circling back even more to why we even got into this discussion was like the price, we can justify it, but the reason the price lowering it is the most important thing. Most people aren't going to buy an $1,800 phone or a $2,000 phone. That's why the Flip was such a big deal, to actually meet that
$1,000 Flip. Yeah, that's literally a no-brainer at that price point, man. That is
100%.
It's durable now. It's easy to recommend.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try it on mine, but is your Z Fold pen by you?
Yeah.
Push on that tip so it retracts.
Yeah, I've done it.
That's a lot of force.
It is. It's quite a bit of force, actually.
So, like, I'm curious if the whole, fingernail dilemma will be a thing on the Z Fold 3, because I feel like that's more damaging than a fingernail.
Well, I know for a fact, so one of the things that changed between the Z Fold 2 and the 3 is they went from a TPU screen protector to a PET screen protector. Now, I don't think this protector is designed to be removed. I removed my TPU screen protector on the Z Fold 2 because it felt really bad. It was kind of rubbery feeling. You didn't really smoothly glide across the screen with your fingers. It just felt really nasty. Took it off and it immediately looked and felt better. This one I don't even consider taking off. It feels way better.
It's almost under the edges too.
Yeah, and I'm sure you could take it off, but you'd lose the durability that they advertise. 80% more durable.
For science, I just kind of dug my fingernail on my screen a little bit, and it didn't leave a mark.
Yeah.
So don't take that as gospel.
No.
But I could tell you that if I did that on my Z Fold 2, it probably would have left one of those that would kind of heal in a couple hours, but it didn't even do that. So
I wouldn't recommend taking off the screen protector, but it's so much better now. The TPU screen protector, if I looked at white, for example, I'm looking at app icons, for example, the Play Store app icon has a lot of white on it. On the Z Fold 2, if I had the TPU screen protector, I could see this rainbowing happening, almost like the pixels, I'm seeing the screen protector distort my image, right? The light as it traverses through the protector, and I could see this rainbowing and this glistening happening. And then when I took it off, it immediately cleared that up. I'm somebody that's super sensitive to stuff like that. I can kind of notice that stuff. It just kind of bothers me. And immediately cleaned it up. But I don't have this problem on the PET screen protector. It looks like the native screen. I think that this is way, way better. And if it's going to give me their advertised 80% more durability, then that's great. Because a lot of people with fingernails, I don't really have a fingernail problem, but a lot of people do. So, I'm glad that they fixed that. Screen's not a problem.
No.
So one thing I do want to talk about, screen related though, is the Vivid or Natural. Because I called you yesterday because this bothered me so much that I had to call you. So, the real question is, I know you and
We're housewives and
we basically it's funny because we both have we both care about displays quite a bit. So I wanted something that was color accurate and I was like, the Vivid doesn't look right. It's oversaturated. The Natural doesn't look right. It looks undersaturated. It looks under everything. It just doesn't look right. So I called you because I was like, which one are we supposed to use? I know that we kind of set it and forget it on the Z Fold 2. But now that we got the Z Fold 3, I'm setting it up again. I was like, I don't remember what the right setting is. Let's poke around. And, I had some interesting discoveries that I made when testing this.
Yeah, so just to get a little bit more technical, Natural uses sRGB or standard RGB.
Yeah.
And I just did I just looked it up a little bit. Vivid is what Samsung is targeting for BT 2020. So for my tastes, I use Vivid Warm 1. I think that I think that's looking pretty nice. I kind of live in a vivid world, and I use the term vivid loosely. My television is set to Warm 2 with Rec 709 color space.
Yeah.
So I'm not like one of those guys who puts it on torch mode.
Yeah.
But for what you're used to looking at in your typical phone, albeit a normal Samsung Galaxy, a Xiaomi or an iPhone, Vivid is going to be closer to what you would expect than the natural color profile would be. However, I will say that I do feel like Samsung is a little hot on their colors, whereas Apple is definitely closer to Vivid than natural, but I feel their tones are a bit more natural. So that's why I kind of lean to Warm 1. I feel like that's probably the closest I can get.
Right.
And I'm not going to sit here and say that the Samsung panel is bad by any means, because it's probably one of the best panels in the phone, even folding or not. And one thing I did notice today when I went outside to pair my car to my phone, bright sunny day here, like super bright sunny day, to the point where I ordered a case, the speaking case I have right here from Amazon, and it has like that little glue that goes around it on a foldable phone. If you've ever seen that, well, that actually melted off from sitting in the Amazon van. So I have to reach out to Amazon and see if they'll send me another case.
Right.
I mean, probably not, because it does come with backups.
Right. Oh, maybe you could use that then.
Yeah, but anyway, my point is it was super sunny out, and I've been grilling a lot this summer, where I know for a fact that like my iPhone brightness was an issue.
Yeah.
And I did not experience that on the Z Fold. I was like, wow, I can actually see my screen, to the point where like I was amazed at how well I could see the screen.
Yeah, so the vivid color profile definitely makes everything pop. It definitely helps with readability, viewability, if you want to call it that. Let me just say this. I've never color calibrated as a display with an actual calibration tool, other than like the kind of gimmick feature. Yeah, you probably have, but other than the gimmick feature that like the Apple TV has, where you can hold your phone against it and have your phone kind of set the color profile on your TV automatically. I've done that. Actually works pretty good, actually, believe it or not. At least it did on my brother's TV when I did some testing on it. But other than that, I've never really calibrated a display. But I always go online and find out what the community consensus is about how to calibrate a display to be as close to the creative intent of the actual, people making content as possible.
Right.
And you ever watch like HDTV Test on YouTube?
All the time.
He's
Vincent
awesome.
Tio is the man, dude.
Yeah, he is the man, 100%. Goes super in depth. Every video he puts out about like the LG televisions on calibration, the new consoles, how to calibrate HDR to be correct. And, he's using professional calibration tools. So we're familiar with like what calibrated displays are supposed to look like. I've done my utmost without one of those professional calibration tools to tune my TV to be correct. So I kind of know what a calibrated image looks like. With that being said, there definitely is like a middle ground that I can't really reach between vivid and natural. Natural's too, like you said it's going for like an sRGB. That might be true. It might actually be color accurate. And then Vivid's aiming for like a BT 2020 color profile or color space. That's fine. I think Vivid looks better. Spoiler alert, I'm staying on Vivid. It does look better at the end of the day. And it's too washed out if you're using natural. I think Linus, because, in his review on Linus Tech Tips, he was like, Samsung, stop with this Vivid thing. But honestly, it looks bad if you don't use it, in my opinion. I had the iPhone next to my Z Fold 3, and the iPhone had a more saturated, more vivid image, out of the box calibration than the natural color profile did. But then if I switch to vivid on the Z Fold 3, suddenly like the Z Fold 3 is like way more vivid than the iPhone is. And I had a bunch of test images I was looking at. Yeah, it just kind of bothered me. I wish there was like a kind of a middle ground, but there's not.
Yeah, I'm looking at my iPhone now, and it's definitely a little bit more muted.
It's more muted if you.
My Samsung is.
Yeah, if you have it set to natural on the Z Fold 3, it's definitely more muted. So to me, that bothered me. Now, there's an exception to this. If not really an exception, but there's kind of another variable, right? If you're viewing HDR content, the problems go away, right? Because it ignores your display profile, it ignores vivid, and it ignores if you're using natural or whatever. It uses like the HDR kind of, it's not really a color space, but it's
secondary metadata that it uses to define color profiles.
Exactly. So it's using the HDR metadata to set your luminance and all these other things, right? So it's all of a sudden it looks way nicer, right? If you're viewing HDR content, this doesn't apply. It's correct. It looks right. It's when you're viewing SDR content that this really bothers me. If I'm viewing SDR content with the HDR profile turned on,
does it bother you, or do you just have a preference? Because those are big things. So like I don't want our viewers to think like this is turning you off from the phone.
I'll say this, okay.
Or maybe
I'll say this. Okay, let me say this. The vivid, it doesn't. It looks good. I just know in the back of my mind that the creative intent is not exactly this. Mm-hmm. So it kind of bothers me on that level. But like from an actual viewing perspective, like I like saturation. I like colors popping. I like it. It kind of reminds me of professional grade headphones, right? You taught me this a long time ago, right? Where I was somebody that was a buyer of headphones that tried to be as neutral as possible, basically studio monitors. And you're like, you know what? Maybe you don't want that.
Mm-hmm. And no, it's very true.
I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess, because like having some character to headphones is good. Like you enjoy
super good.
Having a little bit of personality, and this is the same thing with the display.
We should talk about headphones on one episode.
We definitely will, because I'd love to. You know more about that than I do, which would be an awesome episode to do that. But I think it's the same thing with the display being vivid. I think that this is something that, even though it might not be 100% like as it might not match the creative intent of the content you're watching, but it does look good.
It does look good.
I'm not gonna. It's not gonna bother me now that I've said it. I'm good.
I'll tell you what though. You know what I noticed? Because again, I have my 12 Pro Max here because I didn't finish setting up my Z Fold 3 yet all the way. I noticed immediately, more so than the color space, just the 60 hertz. It's just...
Yeah, I know. Like, dude, you're not joking, though. Every time I go back to a 60 hertz device with the iPhone...
So, for those of you out there who haven't tried 120 hertz phone, and I'm sure, if you play a lot of games, especially on the PC side or on the next-gen console side, you probably experienced, high frame rate gaming. But where it really shines is when you interact with the screen, because chances are the polling rate is doubled. So, so if you're on a 60 hertz screen, your polling rate, which is how many times the screen detects input, is 120 hertz, and on a 120 screen, it's 240. Yep. So not only does the screen feel more responsive, but the screen also is super clear when you're scrolling. Yeah. It's almost like you're just scrolling a piece of paper. And if you live in a vacuum, okay, so like if you have an older Android phone that has a 60 hertz display, or if you're on a modern iPhone even, you're fine because you haven't experienced it yet. But if you sit down with any high frame rate phone and just do your day-to-day tasks of scrolling through Reddit, scrolling through email, scrolling through a text message, scrolling through WhatsApp, whatever messenger app you use, and then you pick up your iPhone or you pick up an older Android phone, you're going to notice the stutter. It's not going to feel smooth. It's going to feel obtuse. And then that's that's something I notice more.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know if we're preaching to the choir. I don't know if our listeners, would be the tech savvy types to actually have, these displays, but it definitely is jarring going back. I know personally.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's one thing the next iPhone absolutely has to have, or it's basically irrelevant for me. If you don't have the high refresh, like, where are you? This is 2021. It's already been a long time coming, right? That we have high refresh kind of becoming the standard. And
LPTO technology kind of is that balls, dude?
It's balls, dude. Energy drink. You don't see what I'm drinking, dude, but it's
we're both drinking energy drinks. So.
Yeah, dude. My buddy Travis, for my housewarming gift, he got me a big case of balls energy.
That's
drink,
awesome.
Dude.
That's awesome.
So I got I have my mini fridge over here, and it's got I got the variety pack. I got this, the classic.
Oh, that's cool, dude. The classic is so good. It's a classic.
It is a classic, dude. From my not LAN party days, but going to internet cafe days, dude.
Yeah, dude.
CS Source, like playing with the dudes there.
Yeah. So back on topic. There's. It's a nice place to be, and I know we're getting short on time.
Yep.
With the full stuff, I feel there's still so many topics I want to cover.
We can talk, dude. Bring it up.
We can talk. Okay, so right off the hop, two things I'm really excited about is app cloning and persistent apps. So I kind of have this way to kind of explain to you what I mean by persistent apps. So if you have an iPhone, okay, and I'm going to keep going back to the iPhone because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who only live in that reality.
One or the other.
In that Apple walled garden, is that you can pretty much view your applications as rooms in your house. Yeah. But every room doesn't have access to a different room. So if you send me a Reddit link, I could only open it up in the dining room. I can't open it up in the foyer, in the TV room, in the bathroom. I could only open it up in the Reddit app.
Yeah.
And, coming and being on iPhone now since November and coming back to Android, it's really refreshing to be sent a Reddit link in an open and relay.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
really cool to me. And then, going back to that concept of applications being containers on your phone, that's really true in iOS.
Yeah.
So, for example, I use, Eric and I both have a Synology NAS.
Yep.
If I open that app on my Android phone, I can keep that app pinned and open for as long as I want to. And it'll keep that connection active. If I close out of my iPhone, it'll be gone in 5 minutes.
Yep.
So this mentality of having this more PC-esque operating system, where it's just the persistent apps in the background is a feature that isn't lost on me. And it's a feature that I welcome. Granted, I'm more of a power user, so I'm pretty sure your average phone user probably doesn't even know that. But persistent apps on Android is huge. And as someone, we both work in IT, so I have things like I want to use my personal OneDrive, and I also want to have my work OneDrive, or I want to, we do some video production at my work. So while I know you can have multiple accounts signed into your YouTube account, I don't want to, have a few beers on a Saturday and post a comment on the wrong account because I didn't swap it around.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, you're totally right.
So it's really nice to be able to clone the YouTube app and then just have a work folder or a work environment where that YouTube app only launches the work YouTube client, and then I have my personal YouTube app somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like that, like that's maybe a feature that people don't realize they get on an Android phone. That's huge to me.
Dude, you just blew my mind. Because I have 2 different Zoom accounts. I have my personal and then I have my work one. And
right.
The fact that I can have basically a separate Zoom app just for my work
just locked in the work folder.
Always, that's awesome. Because even for on Zoom on desktop here, even in Windows, I have to launch and log in either my work account or my personal account. Right now I'm on my personal account because we're using it for this. Sure. But then I got to go right back to my work account, and then I have certain configuration things for both, right? Whereas if on Android, that's awesome. I can have the same app cloned. That's
Gorgeous.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so
awesome.
cool.
It's awesome, right, man?
Yeah, that's
great.
Awesome.
And then, coming back full circle to just, the IT background, Azure AD portal on the Fold is a godsend. It's an absolute godsend. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Dang,
it's absolutely
I'm jealous.
fantastic.
I can't use that in my line of work. I have to. We run our own ADs, and we can't run cloud stuff. Basically.
Yeah. So for those of you out there who can run cloud stuff and are some sort of sysadmin, the Fold will change your life because you pretty much have a really, really nice interface in your pocket.
Yeah, I'll say remote desktop on the Fold's awesome.
I
went over that in my review.
I forgot how good remote desktop is on the Fold.
It's so good, dude. It's like a big ass screen, dude. Like, it's unbelievable.
You know what else I get that I didn't get to download based off of your remote desktop comment? I got the actual app for xCloud now too.
Oh, nice.
Because that's blocked in the App Store on iOS.
That's hilarious. Yeah, Apple. See, this is one thing. Like, I would argue for Apple's like walled garden closed ecosystem, but like I'm starting to like go the other way now. Because
I am too a little bit, and it
feels weird because like I think I would justify their walled garden and their ecosystem because they were able to set the parameters and set the rules, and like they had a bar you had to clear in quality to be on their platform, and I felt like that kind of forced like the experience to be like a certain level of good. Whereas on Android, like it's kind of
you
like
pass the
a
quality
mess.
of service check. There's a quality. There's a QoS check on
that doesn't exist on Android.
No,
because you end up in the App Store. I was looking at top games and I was like, look at this crap, dude. Look at this garbage shovelware crap.
So to your point on that, the Xbox Store. Okay, if you go in the Xbox Store. When Xbox One X first came out, that's how that store was. And I hated it. And it was one of the few reasons why I stopped using my Xbox, because every time I would go to new games, it would be 20 apps of shovelware.
Yep.
And Steam was that way too for a bit.
Yes.
But with proper curation, with proper curation, and I'm not just talking about, disallowing these apps on the store, because I don't necessarily know if I'm for disallowing apps either, but curating what apps actually show up on the page and making sure your algorithms are accurate and aren't getting pushed to the front page because of things like bots or fake reviews or stuff like that really makes a big difference.
Here's what I think, dude. I think there's a middle ground that we need to end up at. So I think what Apple does, where their default store has like a high level of curation, and it's like this is the experience we've tailored. This is what we want for the iPhone, right? I feel like the Play Store needs to adopt that sort of level of policy. But the nice thing about Android is you can have third-party apps from external sources.
Oh, sideloading things is great.
Sideloading things immediately. That's one thing I did, was installed YouTube Vanced, which is my. It's a much better YouTube client than YouTube itself. The app. The fact that you can do, and I know that the whole Epic versus Apple thing, that was like a big thing. They want their own store on the iPhone, and I argued in Apple's favor for a long time, but now I'm like, and I'm definitely not in Epic's favor with their argument blankly, but I'll say this: I'm wishing that they did have third party like app support, unsigned apps that you could run. So anyway, browser window. So check this out.
This is from Reddit, so I don't want to take any credits for the imagery, but this is the kind of stuff you can do with an open platform, right? Like it's really neat what's possible.
And I mean, right away, I'm going to say what bothers me is the aspect ratio. It looks like stretched vertically a little bit.
That's probably a choice of the user, right?
It is.
They want black bars.
I always hate when people choose to have a stretched image versus bars.
I agree.
Are you in the same boat, dude?
Absolutely.
I'd rather have.
Back in the days of VHS, I would always buy the widescreen edition. So.
Okay. Yeah, I still prefer having an aspect ratio correct image over a stretched mess. But this is pretty cool though, right?
Yeah.
The guy on Reddit, he said basically look at the Switch Pro. And that's kind of what this is, right? Almost. This is a very expensive Switch Pro. Granted, much more powerful, much more high resolution, much more capable maybe.
Bigger screen.
I mean, you're
Makes
paying
phone
for
calls.
it. There's a lot to unpack with that.
Yeah.
Because the experience that a Switch can offer, the consistent gaming experience it can offer versus like the experience on a Fold.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily,
Yeah, I know.
comparing it to a Switch. I was just saying like the capabilities of
Right.
what you can do is pretty awesome.
If you're a listener, basically it's a Z Fold 2 or a Z Fold 3 with like one of those controller attachments on it. And it looks like a Nintendo Switch that has a taller display, basically.
Yeah.
A big display. This is actually pretty cool. One of the arguments against a Steam Deck, in my opinion, is why can't you just do this? You know what I mean?
That's a good point, man. That's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah, because people could just like grab one of those controllers, pair it with your phone, and snap your phone into it, and then you could do a lot of what you can do on the Steam Deck on your Android phone. Like Steam Link or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, now that we're on the gaming topic, we should probably slide right in.
Yeah, good. We'll talk more about the Fold as in later podcasts as we get more.
Just so you know,
we're
gonna be all over the Fold coverage, just because
we love it.
We love it, and we're real users, and we're people who will put the phone through its paces, and I don't really pull any punches, and I don't think you do either.
No. So okay, here's what we're gonna talk about right now. Halo Infinite did.
December 8th
did. All right, so Halo's important. Halo Infinite's important. Is it gonna be good? Hopefully, our prayers will be answered. Let's just be real. So December 8th, they announced a actual release date. That's pretty cool. It should have been a year.
You can preload on Xbox.
Yeah, you can preload? What?
I have it preloaded.
That's hilarious. So preload, that's cool. So here's the thing, right? Before this news came out earlier about the campaign. Did you hear about that?
I didn't.
Yeah. So they said co-op campaign will not be at launch. It'll be like a month later, maybe. Co-op campaign. Not at launch.
So this is the first time I'm hearing this news. So,
dude, isn't it like soul crushing?
It's soul crushing for two reasons. It's soul crushing for two reasons because if I go back to freshman year in high school, Halo co-op local co-op is how I made friends. Yeah. And that sounds weird, right? Like I'm not like some like introvert or anything, but when you transition from 8th grade to high school, you interact with a new group of people, and I was one of the fortunate few. My mom busted her ass and I had an Xbox with Halo on lunch. Right. And I was able to then invite these people over and have this really, organic fun.
Yes. And this is what Halo's about, dude.
It is. And I use the term organic fun because I feel like a lot of the experience you have is lost in online gaming. Yeah. And talking about the experiences I've had going through Halo co-op, not having that on launch is a big deal for two reasons. One, I was looking forward to it, just having my boys over and reliving our childhood. And two, we live in an age where so many games are released unfinished and not complete. And Halo doesn't deserve that.
No.
Bring it out in January. Don't give us a Master Chief Collection. Don't piecemeal this together.
No.
Give us the best you can.
It's so disappointing. One guy said it best. They said this game was feature complete a year ago, and you're going to launch Halo Infinite without
That's a good point.
A cornerstone, like a hallmark piece of like what makes Halo Halo. You're not going to release co-op campaign with the launch of the game? What kind of garbage is this? If it was feature complete a year ago, you should have a feature complete game a year later, but you're going to give us this piecemeal BS?
Yeah, that's kind of frustrating to me, man.
I'll make a lot of, here's the thing. I'll defend 343, dude. I've been a defender of 343, but I can't. I
think the current state of MCC is incredible.
Yeah.
No word to lie, I play MCC probably 4 or 5 times a week. Still. Yeah.
It's so good.
It's
good.
Perfect.
They've made it good. It had a rough launch on Xbox. It was really nasty for a long time.
It's terrible.
A year later, it was finally in a good spot. Then it came to PC, had some rough patches, but it's a pretty great experience.
So there is one glaring issue still with MCC, but it's the only one I experienced. So if you leave it on matchmaking and let your Xbox turn off and then relaunch it with quick resume, it won't find a match until you close out of Halo.
Yeah, but that's like one of those like really, I could see that being like kind of a really hard problem. It's kind of a network thing. It's kind of a system standby thing. Like,
and like it's not a big deal, right? Because like games load so fast, MCC is so efficient that like you just close out and 3 seconds later it's working fine.
It's so just like the Nintendo Switch is the same way. Like if you're doing online stuff and then like you go to well, if you go to the menu and come back, it's fine. But if you like put your thing to sleep and then wake it back up, like you're screwed. You just get kicked out of your multiplayer session. So like it's just hard to do a standby and networking persistence.
Like I said, I don't even think it's a problem that like they can address. But outside of that, in my opinion, the game is what it should have been at launch. It's polished, it's well done. The net code is very well very well implemented now. There's no like I don't feel like I have any hit scan issues with netcode. I feel like it's solid. I think it was a great game all around.
I love Master Chief Collection. I think it's like honestly one of the coolest things ever made. To put all these Halo games in a seamless package, you can just jump in. I love even playing I love all the Halos in their own way. Being able to play Halo 1 multiplayer, 2, 3. Be able to play, all the different Reach, do all that. Like I love that. Halo 4 even. Yeah. I love just being able to. It's so much game in one package. I love it.
It's great value.
The fact that their Halo 5 was kind of a miss, campaign wise. Multiplayer you can argue either way, but the campaign was a big miss for me. Halo
was a big miss for everyone, I think.
Yeah. I liked Halo 4's campaign. I did.
I did too.
I thought it was cinematic. I felt like they explored things that they've never had.
I like the multiplayer in 5.
Yeah, I do too. I think it feels good.
While we're on topic,
I like some things like the jetpack thing and
no one likes that. Though.
Yeah,
but the gunplay feels good in 5.
Yeah, 100%.
While we're on topic, do you think Halo 5 Guardians will get added to the Master Chief Collection when Infinite comes out? Or do you think Halo 5 will be like this redheaded stepchild that like no one will?
No, I hope they do.
Let's forget it. I do too. I'm in that camp that I hope they add it to MCC.
Yeah.
And then you have
even if they charge,
Right.
Even if they charge for it, I'll do it.
And then you have your MCC collection, and then you have Infinite.
That'd be unreal. Yeah. Think about it, dude. Like having all the Halos in the MCC and then being able to like have Infinite and then like that's it. That's everything. Like I still can't play Halo 5 on PC to this day. They brought Halo 5 Forge to PC. You remember that?
Yeah, but like
that was cool. But it wasn't anything other than that.
You could only do like testing of the map with people, right? Like you couldn't actually.
You could play games, but you had to like make the Forge games. It was very much like a custom game scenario. And it wasn't like feature complete. There was no like real matchmaking.
Right.
But it was cool. It's a cool, but like why, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't really worth playing just because, in my opinion, because there's no matchmaking, it's like, why did they even do it? But I don't know.
I'm beyond where it's hyped for Infinite multiplayer. And like I said, I just really hope that their current announcement of your bad news doesn't sour people.
So,
I mean, it soured me.
I'm going to move on from the bad news. There's two bad news. What's campaign at launch, no campaign at launch. Forge, no Forge.
No campaign at launch, or just
no. Sorry, co-op campaign. Campaigns at launch.
Okay.
But let me go over the co-op campaign thing real quick. It makes me upset because my brother and I, we play through all the Halos together. It's our thing. We've been doing it since we got our original Xbox on Christmas Day, way back in the day. Okay. Halo 1 and 2, we did. Halo 3, we did. And we want to do freaking... Look, dude, here's how we did Halo 3. Listen to this, dude. I was in boot camp, okay, when Halo 3 came out. I didn't get to play it on launch day, okay? I played in the beta. I played the multiplayer beta before I went to boot camp. I was super hyped. When I got out of boot camp, the very first day... when after we graduated, I got to see people again, right? People came up to Great Lakes in Michigan to see me. and it was awesome because they had brought an Xbox with Halo 3. And I got to play through Halo 3 campaign with my brother and my good friend Corey. We played like 3-man co-op.
Yeah, did you do split screen?
Split screen, okay? So
Classic.
That was like how I've played every Halo campaign was basically co-op.
Bro, I don't feel like I'm playing a Halo campaign if I'm not only using like a fourth of my screen. So
yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. But like, it's just been a thing, and the fact that you expect me to not like get spoiled, like spoilers for a month, while I'm waiting for season 2 or whatever.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like I have to play through it by myself now if I don't want to get like if I want to experience it in an authentic way and not get spoiled. Like that's just BS. So it bothers me on that.
I'm
level.
with you on that because like you know, Halo is near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
You know, so like even if I read not spoilers, but just people saying if it's really good or really bad, I'm going to go into it with that connotation of knowing, oh, well, people said this sucks, so let's see what's up with that.
Yeah.
I want to go in blind.
I want to go in blind too.
I want to be as excited as 16-year-old Randy was, and I want to go in and just...
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too.
Experience it for myself.
Yeah. So obviously that sucks, and the fact that they said, you know, they're just not ready, whatever. And by they, I mean they're also holding back Forge. So, you know, if you know about Forge, it's great. Like all the big custom game stuff, the map customization, being able to make your own game modes. Forge is a big part of Halo. Custom games through Forge maps, like it's a big deal. The fact that they're delaying that too, that sucks too.
You know, I can't help but think that this is a push from Microsoft to get it out before Christmas.
It has to be. They need it out there.
That's the only reason I could think of why they would do this.
It feels like a money grab almost then.
It does. But speaking of Christmas, have you seen the new Xbox, the new controller?
Okay, so I was going to talk about that. So I actually have, I was going to pull up some screenshots here. Halo, Microsoft just announced Halo Edition Xbox or whatever, right? Looks awesome. So
it looks great. It looks great.
Oh my gosh. So I've had a lot of Halo Edition Xboxes in my day. Let me pull up their official website on it. Commemorative 20 years of Halo, Xbox Series X. So, and they also have a Xbox Series 2 Elite controller.
Here's what bothers me about these two limited editions. So, like you, I've had every limited edition Halo Xbox except for the green 360.
Okay, yeah.
So, here's my problem with that. I really want this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here's the problem I have.
Yep.
Given how supply chain is, am I never going to get one because of supply chain?
Yeah, so realistically,
you know what I mean?
You're not getting one.
Like back in the day, dude, when I got the other limited edition Xboxes, if you wanted them, you could buy them. Like they were on sale for like a couple months, and then if you wanted one, you got it, and then there was your window. But now I feel like it's almost like they're shitting on the fans.
You know, there's two problems now. We have a silicon shortage, and we have scalpers.
Yeah.
So here, let me just pull it up on screen, guys. Let me just tell you what we're hype about and what we're not going to be able to get. This is the Xbox Series X Halo Infinite Limited Edition bundle.
I need it.
Okay, this is the Series X. Comes with an awesome looking controller. You can see that. I'm going to scroll down. Obviously, they've done a great job here making this look so good. Unbelievable. Now this is it.
Look at that blue
dude.
skylight, dude. Oh
my god, it looks so good, dude. Instead of green, it's like blue on top. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. It looks clean. I love it.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You don't have a Series X right now.
I don't.
If you went to the site right now and it said buy, how fast would you push the button?
I think I would do it.
I would
so
do it too.
In the background, you can't see it.
Do it.
I have a Halo Edition Xbox 360.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. You still have that.
Yeah,
that's
I still have it. It's in my entertainment center. It just looks awesome. And you know what's awesome about that one is when you hit the power button, it makes like a Halo sound. Like when you turn it on.
Oh, wait. I had that one.
Yeah.
It was like kind of bluish?
Yeah, it is.
This is the one I had. The Halo 4 bundle.
Halo 4. Yeah.
Had that one.
Yeah, for the viewers that are watching the podcast, let me just pull up a quick.
That's so sweet. You still have that, dude.
Yeah, no, I had to keep it. It's freaking cool looking, right?
It's awesome.
So this is the image. It basically looks like this. Oh, it's so beautiful. Isn't
very
it?
Forerunner aesthetic there.
It's like translucent. You can see through it. Oh man, so nice, so nice. So like, you know, as somebody, and I had the OG Xbox, that was Halo Edition Xbox.
The green one?
Yeah. So just for the viewers, this is the green boy.
Dude, I wish I had that one.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm not, you know, I've had a lot of different Halo Xboxes. Let's just say that. So when I heard about this one, I don't have an Xbox this time. I was like, yeah, dude, I want to get this, but availability. And it's just not going to be there, guys. Like, it's already sold out if you hit check availability on their site. You know, you might be able to, it says Amazon you can pre-order, but on the Microsoft store, and it's out of stock. But I bet you if you go to these other retailers, they're just going to be out of stock, guys. I can almost guarantee it. Scalpers are a big problem. So I'm on the Best Buy. Look, coming soon. So you might be able to catch it whenever it comes out on these other sites. But that's a big problem, right? Like, I don't think you're going to be able to. Now, there's another part of this, the Xbox Elite wireless controller. So let me pull that up.
Love that too.
Guys, this looks so good. Okay? It looks like Master Chief.
it looks fantastic.
Look at how awesome this is. It's got like that gold visor, like for the D-pad. Get out of here, dude. Unbelievable how good this looks. Look at that. Oh my God. So I got mixed feelings about this. So let me talk about this right now. In my hands, right? Elite
That's Series 2.
Series 2 Elite controller. I have the Series 1 not too far away. And it's actually having issues. So this controller has had multiple issues with it. And you know me, like, I'm a gamer, but like, how much gaming do I really do? Like, I don't do console gaming, right? I'm a PC gamer first. So a lot of my gaming... I was
going to ask, how often,
that's the thing.
Like, what's your use case?
Use this that
what's your
much.
barometer?
I play Monster Hunter World, right? So yeah, I got a couple of 100 hours in Monster Hunter World. You know, I've played other games too. Right now I'm playing Dark Souls. And one of the things about Dark Souls is your triggers and bumpers are your freaking attack buttons and your shield and your parry. How come my shield button isn't working right now, Randy? Why not?
I don't know.
What's going on with that? I took this controller apart like 2 days ago to fix it, and I didn't fix it. So
I can tell you that I have an Elite Series 1.
Yeah.
And mine still works, but I don't really use it that much.
Okay.
Primarily because, for two reasons. One, Xbox Design Lab is awesome.
Yeah.
And I want my controllers to look good.
No, you're right. You're right. But, like, here's the thing. When you got one of these, do you need the Design Lab?
That's my point, dude. No,
Look how
I don't.
Good.
I don't. And, like, just, you know, like, they could honestly have sold me the Xbox Elite broken controller. Like, just sell me a refurb, but put that skin on it, and I still would probably buy it. So.
Dude, look at this, dude. Become elite.
I know, dude.
Become elite, dude.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
Are you gonna become elite?
Dude, I would give them my money right now if they would accept it.
Dude, Master Chief is about to, like, look, he's jumping the controller, dude. Look at this. This is their,
jumping the controller.
Dude, look at this. 117, dude. Look, they're crafting his armor. They're crafting the controller. They're basically the same technology. Hopefully Master Chief's armor doesn't fail as much as the Elite controllers do, because Cortana's got a lot of fucking work on her hands when she's in that armor, dude. She's, like, keeping it together, you know what I'm saying?
I need it, dude. So,
look how sick that is.
So where I'm at right now is if some retailer comes up with either of those, I'm buying them because
same here.
There's no problem with me selling my current Series X at cost.
Yeah, to get this
to one of my friends who want one. You know what I mean? So like I would sell the cost. I wouldn't scalp them or anything. I would just
maybe 100%.
Sell the cost, maybe take like $50 off or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
But anyway,
they'd still get a deal, dude. Scalpers, like, it's still hard to get these consoles.
Yeah.
If you sell it, even
in a heartbeat. And then the controller I just want, right? Like I want the Elite controller anyway.
Yeah.
For Halo.
Yes.
And I was thinking of just getting like the broken one you have, like obviously not the broken one with the black one.
Yeah, that's standard.
But now that I see this one exists, I'm not going to buy that because I'm going to keep trying to get the Halo one.
Yeah, I really want to get the Halo Edition one. If right now it's sold out, everything is sold out. It sucks because I didn't even know these were happening, and then
I didn't either. I had no idea.
By the time it showed
we
up,
were playing Sea of Thieves last night, and
yeah.
So like, let me tell you something, guys. Like, if you want a product, don't ever sign up for notifications.
No,
because I'm signed up for new products and announcements from Microsoft. And do you know when I got my email that these things came out? 9:38 p.m.
Yeah,
literally 4 hours after they've already sold out.
That's ridiculous. Why even do the marketing?
Yeah.
You're just pissing people off.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean? I don't know, but like I know from their official store, it's all sold out. I don't know if we'll be able to get them from Amazon, Best Buy, all these other retailers.
Just an article I've read really quickly. Amazon didn't have a drop yet, and Best Buy didn't have a drop yet.
So now we gotta like set up the freaking bots like we did with the 3080, 3090 to freaking like out scalp the scalpers, dude. Like we gotta.
Dude, it's miserable. It's miserable buying technology, and like just coming back full circle because it's on topic. Let me pull up the article for you.
I'm surprised that like when Apple products come out, we don't have this problem. We don't have this problem on Apple products.
We do.
I haven't had it. I've been able to go to the Apple store.
Me too.
Every time, the same day it comes out, and get a product every time.
So here's the difference. Apple is run by Tim Cook, who is a supply chain master. He is.
He's a guy.
Like he's not Steve Jobs, and I'll never say that he or can replace Steve Jobs, but he is a supply chain ninja.
Yeah,
and that is what he is really good at. Now, what else Apple will do is Apple will never not take your money.
Yeah.
So and that's not a negative. What I mean by that is if you want a product, you can buy the product anytime you want. Your ship date will just get moved out. Mm-hmm. So, like, for example, if Apple was making these limited edition things, Eric and I could place our orders right now, but we may not get ours until April. Right. And I would be fine with that.
Yep, 100%. I just want to have a place. I want to have a guarantee I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Like with these...
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
Like,
I don't know when I get it. I just want it.
Yeah, how limited are these runs going to be, right?
Right,
like,
exactly.
We don't know.
That's my concern, because like you, I want that limited edition Xbox.
Yeah. 100%.
I just sent you an interesting article from 9 to 5 Google.
All right, so what are we looking at?
Yeah, so like kind of talking about, supply and demand, right? Like Samsung apparently wasn't ready for this, because there are people who place their order and then Samsung had to say, "Whoa, listen, like we oversold this boy."
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Which is kind of a good thing, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, so it's funny because they probably were surprised.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny that they would be shocked, about. It's funny. How come they can't ever like just be like, yeah, we're going to get a lot of sales? I guess it's just like you don't know. And
so I think the Fold is probably in a realm for Samsung where yields are profitable, but probably not inventory profitable. That kind of makes sense. I don't know what the exact term I'm looking for is, but their margin, they probably don't want to keep a lot in the warehouse unsold, is probably where I'm getting at. Like the cost per unit is still probably high, that if they kept a stock of say 50,000 or 60,000 folds, like that's probably a sizable chunk for them. That being said, I don't really know what the case is. It could also just be, production woes. It could be supply chain woes. It could be,
let me say something, dude.
Any factor of that.
So they're already selling every single Xbox Series X that they make. Same with PS5s.
Right.
They're already selling them. They can't make them fast enough. Now you got a limited edition run thrown in the mix.
It feels like they just don't care about consumers when they do that, because I want one.
Yeah.
I want one.
It's crazy because it's like, that you're not going to be able to get this. Like,
right. So like here's the problem I have, and it's kind of like what we're talking about full circle with, where Apple will sell you it. Like all of these companies, like Microsoft could do that with the Xbox.
Yeah.
Why don't they?
I don't know.
Like I totally get why retailers don't do it, because they don't have a crystal ball and they don't make the product. So they don't know when they're going to get more.
Yeah, but Microsoft should have a backlog ready to send out to people. But
Microsoft, like Apple, should always take orders.
Yeah. 100%.
They could make them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're fronting the bill. If they're 10,000 orders deep, then they can make a profit on 10,000 products.
Yeah, I know.
Why wouldn't you just continue to take orders and just push the ship date back? Because, like, if you look at a PS5 and you look at the normal Xbox Series X, people who don't have one yet, don't fret. You're going to get one.
Yeah.
Like you will. But these products, these limited edition products, you may never get one.
Right. You know, let me just break that down a little bit. They probably don't want to piss off retailers. Okay.
Right. True.
The problem is if you're selling it online on your store, who's buying that? The enthusiast, right? The guy that's looking up your product. If your products are in retail stores, you're getting presents for the normies. Okay.
I'd be interested to see how many direct to consumer sales Apple has versus like people who go to Best Buy or Verizon to buy an iPhone.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know those numbers, but they obviously have the Apple stores for a reason, right? And you know they invest a lot in the Apple Store experience. They care about their stores, right? So and even in Best Buys and stuff, like they have the Apple corner like set up in a certain way, and they're, you know, so you know, I don't know if there's a big push for Microsoft and other people to keep these in retail stores instead of just offering them themselves. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just they need to come up with a system, Sony and Microsoft alike, and anyone who's having supply shortages, for that example. Yeah, where people can queue up for a product that they want.
Yeah, because I would like that.
Literally, they're just wasting money.
It's crazy. Or we're at the point now where scalpers are trying to eBay their pre-order. You know what I mean? Like they're getting.
That's a good point, dude. Because
it's stupid.
Think of it this way too, right? Like if you can go on Nvidia.com and just order a 3080, but they say we don't know when it's going to ship.
Right.
Most people would be fine with that.
Yeah, they would just get in line.
Most people would be fine with that. So right away, you increase customer satisfaction. And you completely kill off scalpers.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, if you let everybody just pre-order and you never stopped it, right?
Yeah.
Like the scalpers,
that's my argument.
Even if the scalpers pre-ordered, they would know like, okay, my customers are doing this too. Like there's no reason for me to at this point do this pre-order because I'm not going to get the sale. I might get it sooner and I might be able to sell it just for impatient people. But I don't know, like
small scale. I'm a keyboard enthusiast.
Yeah.
You're a budding keyboard enthusiast. So when you buy keyboards, like custom keyboards, they do a thing called an interest check, and then they go into a group buy phase.
Yep.
And essentially how a group buy phase works is after the interest check is complete, which is to make sure they meet their minimum order quantity. Their MOQ, then it goes into a group buy. And for that group buy, you essentially have 2 months or 3 months to get your order in. And during that 2 months or 3 months, there's no limit. You can order as much as you want. And then they say, all right, we've reached our MOQ. We have an order for 450 keyboards. We're going to make them.
Yep.
So when Microsoft does these limited run consoles, why can't they just say, listen, we know they're hard to get. We don't know when you'll get it. This is going to be live for 90 days because it's a limited edition product. Get your order in, and we'll get you one when we can.
Yeah, so I do a lot of pre-orders too. I buy collectibles and whatnot, and every time these collectibles come out, they'll do pre-order run. They won't even begin manufacturing yet, right? They're like, but the time scales are different though. The time scales are different. So when you do a pre-order with like say Sideshow Toys, they make these statues.
Oh, they're so nice. They're so nice.
Amanda recently ordered a Witcher. It's actually a Witcher 2 statue. It's Yorvith off of the Witcher 2. It's really cool. The company will, they put out the pre-order. People pre-order, and then they begin manufacturing, right? So the problem with that sort of model is it takes a long time, for one. Because you're like, okay, I'm gonna get this a year. Yeah. You're getting this a year out, maybe longer. Yeah, Amanda just ordered a figure that's gonna take 2 years to come out. Yeah, wow. Literally 2 years. So. That's the state of things. The benefit to the manufacturer is they know exactly how many they're going to need to make.
They know their MOQ, the minimum order quantity.
I know for in Amanda's case with the Yorvith statue, they didn't get enough pre-orders, so she just got an email saying they're canceling it. This is kind of off topic from the Xbox situation, but just sort of a unique thing. It's like, okay, we didn't get enough pre-orders to where this is worth it for us, so we're just going to cancel. Dang. You know, Amanda was so upset.
Yeah, that does suck. That does suck.
But for the Xbox situation, like obviously they want the turnaround times to be a lot faster, right? They're already manufacturing these things during this pre-orders, right? You want to get it soon after you order it. The timetables are different. If they were like, we can work with like a year out timetable, but like people aren't that patient, dude.
No.
You know, you're not going to be like, hey, the Xbox Elite wireless controller and Xbox Series X Halo Edition bundle, to say that's not going to be ready for like when it comes out. Like the release date for this console is in November 15th. So this is before Halo Infinite even comes out.
Yeah.
You'll have your hands on the console, right? So, you know, the timetables aren't there. Now they're going to be pumping these things out, I'm sure. And they're going to sell every single one they make. I think the problem,
absolutely.
I think if we just circle back, like I think the problem is ultimately the silicon shortage. They just can't make them fast enough, dude. This is why. Like if they could make them like quick, we wouldn't have to worry about scalpers. So
yeah, I agree. Yep.
But yeah, I think that's really all I had to say about Halo. You know, it's a disappointment, but then it's like a cool console. Okay, cool. We got and we also got a release date at least.
Yeah, but it is irrelevant because we may not get one.
Yeah, we might not get a console, we might not get a controller, but you know, we definitely will be able to play Halo Infinite launch day. Maybe not co-op. Anyway,
tell me about it.
Halo Infinite's kind of it ebbs and flows, dude. It's like I'm excited. Okay, now I'm disappointed. I want to be excited.
Yeah.
Multiplayer will be fun. All right, guys, I think we're going to close it out here. Thanks for coming to the Technosthetic podcast.
Bit of a longer episode.
It was longer.
Today.
We were talking about the folds. We were talking about the Halo.
A lot of interesting topics, though. It was a good time. We got our first guest. Yeah.
First guest. That was fun. It was smooth, actually.
It did.
So, yeah, thanks for coming, and we'll see you guys next week on the podcast.